that's going to about do it for day 5 at the National and the National in general. Really successful day 5. Arms are full, backpacks full. Picked up some stuff for the collection, super excited about. Picked up some stuff that I'll be using in some sales. So I kind of did it all, saw a lot of stuff, saw a lot of people, got to say goodbye to some people, but now it is time to hit the road. Shortened day. It all gets started right now.
I got a little. Let me give you a sneak preview.
A little spoiler.
A little.
Okay.
That was the most amazing thing I saw. That to me is what the hobby's about.
I mean, it definitely takes. It's hard to. You think of like, oh, a 6-second clip. How long does it take? 6 seconds.
Right.
But like when you're in the moment, it's difficult. There were a few times.
Great state of Brad 8671. What's going on, everyone? MikeO back with my Day 5 recap of the 2023 National Sports Collectors Convention. The National has come and it is gone. Day 5, the final day of the National, was very successful in my opinion. It was actually pretty awesome. Thrilled that I was able to attend Day 5. I know a lot of people had to bail early, left Friday, Saturday. Or left Sunday morning and weren't able to attend the show. But I gotta say, it was really nice. Definitely not packed. It was by far the least crowded of the days. Now, got to the show at opening about 9:30 or so, and left around 1:30 because I had a lot of traveling to do. Currently on the way home, stopped in Pittsburgh for the evening, but. So, here are the key takeaways for Sunday. One, it was very cool. It was borderline chilly in there. I'm sure in part due to the AC being fixed and in part due to there being less overall foot traffic, but I wouldn't say there was no foot traffic. It was very active. There were people all around. I bounced around a good portion of the show, at least in terms of sections, just kind of browsed around, checked some tables, checked some items that I had been previously interested in, made some purchases, which I was thrilled about, picked up some wax. Wax was being discounted. It had started to be marked down Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning they were marking it down a little further, at least select products, and some of those products were eligible for the Rapper Redemption packs. Now, I didn't end up doing any of the tops because I kind of missed the window where I could have gotten in line and it wouldn't have been that bad. But I did pick up some Panini products at little discounted prices where I was able to get the Rapper Redemptions, and they definitely have value. So I picked them up and then just kind of looked around. There were a few big cards I was thinking about. I didn't end up making those purchases because I ran into some stuff that I really wanted for the collection and then a giant lot of stuff that I picked up. But really had a good time there. It's of my personal opinion that if you're around and you're able to attend Sunday, that it's totally worth it. First off, there's some stuff that's going to be missed that you're going to have missed because as much as you scour the show, you're going to miss items. And there's also stuff that dealers end up putting out late because they just start to make room in their showcases, and there are items that walk in that they purchase that become available that maybe you we're interested in. And also, what I've noticed the last couple of years is sometimes on Sunday there's actually some different dealers, because some dealers are packing up leaving and they sell their spot to another dealer, or they give permission to a friend of theirs to set up for the day. And that's kind of what helped me today. So, I'm about to show off what I picked up, but just want to kind of say thanks to everyone that I got to participate in this national with. I know Ed had sent a message after he got home and the news came up that this was the largest attended national of all time, breaking the previous record from so many years ago out in California. So, there's a little historical national, the most attended card show of all time. So that's a cool little nugget. And I got to say, it didn't always feel that way. And that's a credit to Chicago, because even though I knew it was busy and I knew it was crowded, because you could see it from the parking situations and the traffic situations out there, the way it was bigger and borderline too big, I know other people have said that, it being bigger helps spread everyone out a little bit. And that made it generally feel a little more open and not as congested. Now, there were areas like the aqua carpet and certain other areas that did become congested from time to time, but overall, just not bad. Just another awesome experience, and I got some pretty cool pickups that I'm going to share with you right now. All right, and now for the pickups for day 5. I'll have an overall national recap coming in the next several days, but want to share day by day what I pick up so I have those memories. And today turned out to be very successful. There were a couple big cards I thought about, didn't end up making those purchases, but I did pick up some stuff for the collection and some stuff to move at some point. So first off, I did pick up a couple cheap cards. Looked in a kind of the jumbo value box. Ended up getting these for $1 each. This is an N43 from 2007 Allen & Ginter box topper. Just a really cool one. Sweet Ryan Howard. These box toppers can become very difficult to find over time. And this is a Drew Bledsoe Pacific Collection kind of jumbo card that folds out, trifold. So just a neat little item. I just kind of ran in, flipped through and found them. This was an exclusive from GAS Trading Cards, Taste of Chicago. You got the chicken fingers. A lot of memories for that card, especially the housemates eating it. Big Chicken, Shaq's fairly new chicken joint stuff was actually very good. Other big purchase. So this is just a small piece of it. I bought out a showcase of vintage. I was looking at a couple of the lots and talking to the dealer a little bit, and I had glanced at it a few times during the course of the show. But obviously there were a lot of other things I wanted to do, and I was looking for some specific PC stuff and, opportunities if I saw them. And I ended up buying the entire showcase, so I don't have the total on me now. I have a little document saved on my phone, but I think it was about 1,200 vintage cards or so. 51 Bowman, 53 Bowman, 53 Tops, among others. So I have the box not in my hands right now, but just a full shoe box full of the different eras. But here's just a small sample, some of the stuff that are in semi-rigids. Now, some stuff's in decent, would be like a 2 or 3. You do have some like this Campanella with some creases, but kind of fun stuff. A lot of 51 Bowman, 54, 57 Tops. Some Hall of Famers included, like Hank Aaron. So, really thought it was fun to pick that lot up. So I grabbed that. And then for the PC pickups here, this was actually a gift. So I told you guys about the gentleman that I made purchases from on Wednesday night. He's been set up at the Philly show as well. Stopped by just to say goodbye to him, thank him for the deal and helping me add stuff to the collection. And he knows I like to collect Richie Allen stuff. along with the Phillies stuff, and he hooked me up with this Ticketron promo card from 1971 postcard of Richie Allen. You don't see him in the Dodgers stuff very often. Obviously, Phillies and White Sox are where you see him featured the most. Occasionally the Cardinals as well. This one in a Dodgers uniform. So pretty cool. Had $30 on it and just kind of handed it to me. So really appreciate that. Just, I had a great time hanging out with fellow YouTube people, and the friends that I've made over the years. Had a lot of fun with that, but also multiple dealers, having really just great conversations and kind of getting to know them better and stuff was awesome too. Last couple pickups, I did end up picking up a couple Superman cards. The 1940 Superman Gaudy cards just are amazing. Big fan of them, and was able to pick up a couple. I didn't see a ton of them. I saw some high-grade ones in a few places, and then I did find a couple with lower-graded stuff, but the prices were a little elevated. This guy had a few that weren't bad. I mean, just a 1.5, but presents really well, and was able to pick up this one, the Rescue, and I also picked up a Rescue at the Bank, so I thought that was pretty cool. This one's cool because it's a little action shot ripping that vault off, and this one's really neat. You got the chest emblem and stuff, so neat cards. I enjoy picking these up on occasion, so pretty cool there. So some non-sports action. And then the final card, super thrilled to find it. So I found these from a guy who was kind of just set up for the day. Wasn't originally set up. Had a couple showcases out, and then he had a box there. And I was talking to him, and I worked out a deal for the Superman cards. And I had mentioned, I'm looking for Phillies pre-war stuff. That's kind of my main focus at the National. I collect stuff from all eras and such. And he flipped through his box, and he actually found one. And this is a player that I've wanted to add to the collection for a long time. Doesn't have a lot of cards. And I was actually like stunned, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to work out a deal for this. And I was able to work out a deal. He was pretty good. Knocked a good price off the Superman cards and then this one. And earlier in the show, I missed out on a card that wasn't necessarily on my radar, but once I did find it, and after thinking about it for a day or two, I kind of made the decision I was going to get it because it's so difficult to get, and I was pretty bummed when I missed out on it, but I did find some other awesome stuff. I knew I couldn't leave this one behind because you just don't see them very often. And this is an 1888 Old Judge N172 Charlie Ferguson in an SGC2. So Old Judge cards are absolutely amazing to begin with. Blank backs, as you can see, some staining, who cares? But the significance of this one, I'm still learning to use this this new phone. Let's see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. There we go. Get that focused up. So Charlie Ferguson, who's not super well known, but some people will, and you got the 2-player card here too. Charlie Ferguson was really one of the Phillies' first stars and played for the Phillies, the Philadelphia Quakers at the time. I believe is 1884, 85, 86, 87. So only a 4-year career. And he was a pitcher. And obviously back then pitchers hit. And he hit pretty well. And he was an excellent pitcher. His worst year was his rookie year. Had an ERA in the 3s. I think he won 20 games, lost 26. Obviously they made a lot of starts. And then he started to develop more and more. Won 30 games one year, had a low 2 ERA, had a 1-point-some ERA, became a two-way player. So if you look at him on Baseball Reference, he's shown as a pitcher, an outfielder, and also a second baseman. And he played a lot of second base and outfield in his 4th and final year. He led the team in RBIs, had 85 RBIs, had a handful of home runs. It was the dead ball era, hit .337, And like I said, won like 30 games, had a 1.9 ERA, just an absolute superstar in baseball at that time. But unfortunately, he contracted typhoid fever in the off season following that 1887 season and passed away. He died at the age of 25. So, obviously, tragic story. Phillies actually lost 2 of their stars of the 1800s. So, they had lost a few guys, but Charlie Ferguson, really the Phillies' first star. You look at his career stats, they were unbelievable. Obviously, a short-lived career, but he was on his way to being an all-time great, potentially a Hall of Fame career. Obviously, you never know what would happen, but if maybe he pitched and played another 10 years, I mean, he was a two-way player, like I said. How long would he have done it? Who knows? But, when I kind of learned more about his story a few years ago, he was a player I wanted to add. Now, there's some Hall of Fame Phillies from the late 1800s that I would like to add someday, and some of their cards are just so scarce and rare and sought after due to their Hall of Fame status that it's going to be a while before I can add them. But Charlie Ferguson's one I've been looking for, and he does have a few issues. Very difficult to find. I haven't seen any of the local shows or regional shows, nor have I seen one lately while looking for him at an auction house. So this was like, I kind of thought at that point I was done at the show. I knew I wanted to do some purchases to sell some stuff, to acquire some inventory. I knew I wanted that. And I thought for PC stuff, I was just going to look around. I was going to debate another big card. And then I ran into this, and it was just kind of by chance. A dealer who wasn't there, who I, just happened to look at the Superman cards and start talking to him about it, and then engaged in conversation. And he didn't even realize he had this. He was just flipping through and then noticed it, and I immediately went, whoa, that is something I absolutely want to find a way to acquire. So, lesson be learned. Sunday can be an absolutely amazing day. And as someone who looks forward to the National every year, I am never anxious to go. Do I get tired sometimes? Of course. Do you feel a little worn out? Sure. But when you know it's a once-a-year event, and you only get to do so many Nationals in your time, that I do like to stick around as much as I can. And sometimes good things happen, so the National, for me, ended on a very happy note. Shout out to all the housemates and, of course, Big Scott, who staying with tonight, for just a great time. Appreciate you guys watching. Please comment below. Let me know what you think of the pickups. Appreciate you following me on this journey to the 2023 National in Chicago. I cannot wait for Cleveland 2024. Have yourselves a great one. On to Cleveland 2024.